As a guy who barely makes just below the average salary in LA, it almost feels impossible just to think about buying a house in this city. Los Angeles County's median housing price today is somewhere $530,000 to $650,000 for a single family home. And it doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon, or at least nobody knows when. But I never dropped my hope of buying my first home before I turned into age 30, which means there's only
a year left.
Initially, I've always dreamed about having a big house like mansion, like most people do. But ever since I got introduced to tiny houses like YouTube channels by the most random YouTube algorithm, it kind of started changing my mindset, and now I'm more interested in getting a tiny house or a small house. I recently came across Monica Church's YouTube video about this 3D printed studio unit by this company called Mighty Buildings, and found out that they're extending their pop-up event in LA all the way through October, so I immediately decided to go check it out in person. In case you might be interested in having a tour in person as well after watching this episode, I'll leave the direct link in the description below so you can schedule for yourself for a visit. I have to tell you, I had a great and amazing time during my visit, and I thought it'd be interesting and informative for some of you who may be thinking about getting a small house as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and find it informative, and if you guys can give this video a big thumbs up before you jump in, I would definitely appreciate it. 30,000. Thank you so much for smashing the like button in advance, and let's get into it. To briefly introduce what Mighty Building does, Mighty Building is a modular prefab construction company providing turnkey installation services. By utilizing 3D printing technology and their limestone materials, they assemble modular houses much faster than traditional construction. Mighty Building's units are fully compliant with all aspects of the California Building Code, including Title 24 energy and other standards. Because of the technological efficiency, there's only 1/10 the waste in scrap of traditional methods. Also, their superior limestone material is much lighter and more energy efficient than the concrete composite. Additionally, it's 10 times stronger than traditional building materials, providing strong resilience against fire and water. Ultimately, through this advanced technology and automation, they're able to offer high quality and modern design dwelling units to the customers at more affordable price points than traditional construction. They currently offer 8 different models, and the one that I got to see in person at the LA Pop event was Mighty Studio. Mighty Studio is a 350 square feet studio unit prefabricated through their state-of-art 3D printing technology in their facility located in Oakland, California. It's currently being sold at $115,000 just for the unit only. I know that sounds pretty crazy, but the crazier part is it takes less than 24 hours to fully print out the entire unit using only 95% less labor hours. But you heard me right, less than 24 hours. I think that's absolutely mind-blowing. From there, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks for it to be fully assembled and ready to be delivered. Once it's shipped to your place, it only takes a few days for it to be fully move-in ready. My very first impression of the Mighty Studio when I first saw it in person was that it's actually bigger than I imagined, and it looked even better in person. Looking around the overall design of the unit, I got this modern minimalistic vibe, but with subtle artistic touch. I really like the round finish of the unit, very soft, and I really like the vibe. I like the blend of light khaki and white colors, kind of, blending it together very well, not to mention how they put the wood panels in front of the building. Overall, I felt like I was looking at a very modern, ecological, tiny Japanese house. I think that's the right description I'm trying to say. Walking inside the unit, I've immediately noticed it's surrounded by a lot of windows instead of plain walls. I really like the aspect of it because it lets a lot of natural lights in during the day, and it makes the room feel a lot more spacious. Also, I love the fact that you can wide open both sides of the windows, in that it provides a lot more flexibility and mobility in and out the unit. And on the left side, there's a double-sized bed which can be also folded up and hidden inside the furniture when it's not being used. So that allows you to utilize the space more practical, especially when you're having guests come over and you need more space for them. The furniture has enough room and space where you can display decors and store a lot of items, I think, although it has a very tiny closet, which can be a downside, especially if you have a lot of clothes. Looking up, the ceiling felt relatively high for the unit size, which is great. The floor was covered by ceramic wood look tile, which can be placed by different options if you like. Moving on, the kitchen area, it's half-size kitchen, but it comes with a ton of hidden storage for one person to store kitchen appliances and tools. And the bottom part, there's a mini fridge, but I was told this will be replaced by a bigger version for the units being sold moving forward upon customers' feedback. The top section has a microwave in the middle, and there's even more space where you can keep plates, bowls, and cups and whatnot. One really cool thing I found as opening up the very last cabinet here, there's this extension thingy that allows you to move up and down, so that helps you reach items without taking much risk. So I really thought that was really smart and practical. But my favorite part of the kitchen was this humongous tablet display built right behind the mirror on the very left corner. It's so futuristic that it made me feel like I was in a house from one of those Black Mirror episodes. It's not just cool, it can be very functional. I mean, think about it, and practical. Like, just imagine yourself watching a recipe video or some entertaining YouTube videos while cooking. I can totally see myself completely overusing it, but caveat that it's optional, meaning you will have to pay for it if you want it to come with the unit. Stepping into the bathroom, oh man, I felt like I was in the bathroom from one of those upscale Las Vegas hotels like Wynn Hotel. I mean, I absolutely adored the vibe and how spacious it was. It totally made me want to spend more time in the bathroom, if that makes sense. Not only that, it also had a ton of storage and space where you can literally keep lots of random things if you want. I liked how you could easily access the dryer and laundry machines as walking straight into the bathroom from the living room. There was no dryer in the unit at the time of my visit, but I was told it's because it's a demo unit, so they just didn't put it there. But basically, a dryer and laundry both will come with the unit at no cost. I loved what they did with the LED lighting coming down from the ceiling and sort of the middle part of the wall. It kind of mimics the natural lights coming through, and I really liked it. I mean, because I felt like it was boosting up my mood kind of subtly, if that makes sense. It would be also, in my opinion, very nice if you can change the color, but that didn't seem like an option at this time. Also, here I found their proprietary limestone materials, which is what this entire unit is basically made of. It definitely felt lighter than how traditional concrete would feel in the same size, but it still felt heavy enough to make it feel rigid and durable. I mean, this thing right here, this material is also earthquake resilient up to 9 degrees. The shower room felt so spacious, and also the ceiling for some reason felt pretty high. So I really like that aspect. The shower head though was pretty high up. I mean, it was fine for me, for my height, which is around 5'11". But I could see it could be a little bit high depending on your height. If you ask me my honest thoughts on this specific unit, Mighty Studio, I'm gonna say I really liked it. Almost everything. What is it that I didn't like? It's the size. Because if I buy it, it'll be my primary living place. So if for example, if I have my guests over, I feel like it'll be a little bit too tight for me. But you should understand that most people who are interested in this studio unit are usually considering it to be an ADU, like accessory dwelling unit, because they usually have their own primary dwelling house, like their own main unit, and they could have like an extra space where they're not using. If they have an ADU unit there, it's like studio unit from Mighty Buildings, for example, and when they have their guests come over, and if they need like a place to stay in with kind of like privacy, then it could be a really great usage. Otherwise, I can totally see renting it out so that they can make some extra income too. I've actually spent quite some time on learning more about other Mighty Buildings units, and I'm really interested in, I think it's Duo B. That's right, Duo B is the right name, or my primary living place, hopefully in the near future, because its size is twice as big compared to Mighty Studio, which is 350 square feet. Duo B is 700 square feet. And the crazy part about it is it can accommodate up to 2 bedrooms. So 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. But in this video, I'm not gonna go over too much detail about this Duo B unit, but I'd like to let you know that I actually have a plan to visit Duo B unit in San Diego. That owner purchased it so that he could rent it out to people, but he ended up actually living in it. Like, he really liked the unit. With all this said, I'm very convinced that this is actually pretty good alternative way to own a brand new modern house at a relatively affordable price point in, you know, such a very competitive housing market here in LA. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys so much sparing a few minutes of your day with me. I hope you guys did enjoy this episode and found it informative. If you guys did, please go ahead and thumbs up this episode for the YouTube algorithm. That'll tremendously help my channel grow down the road. And if you guys haven't done so, please consider subscribing to my channel, especially if you're interested in watching more content like this in the near future. Good news is that I have great content and episodes coming up in the pipeline for you, so please stay tuned for that. Until then, please stay safe, healthy, and positive. And lastly, happy shopping. Thanks, guys. Peace.